Hey, what's up, guys? Inside the Pablo here. Before this podcast, watch this commercial. We've partnered up with the Fresno County Public Safety Association for AB 2004, known as the Scanlon Bill. Go ahead and check it out and show your support.
Correctional officers put their lives on the line every single day.
My dad, correctional officer Toa Malama Scanlon, lost his life when he was shot in the line of duty.
Their work is dangerous, their sacrifice is real,
But he wasn't given the same recognition or protections as a peace officer.
AB 2004, the Scanlon Bill,
is about changing that
This bill is about safety, dignity,
and helps protect families like mine moving forward.
Support AB 2004.
Learn how at ab2004.com.
All right, guys, welcome back inside the Pablo here. Like we start every podcast with a Bible verse, and today's Bible verse led us to John 15, verse 16 and 17. You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name. This is my command. Love each other. John 15, 16, 17. With that being said, I'm with
Adrian, Kid A, from Mendota, California, specifically Bump City.
Okay.
That's the little neighborhood I grew up in. So some of the OGs, they know where that's at.
There you go. There you
So
go.
if you don't, it's by the high school with all the speed bumps. So that's where I grew up. So thanks for finally, for me, I'm finally on. So thank you for having me on. It's been, you've been trying to get me on for 2 months, but just schedules,
You're a busy man.
Yeah, I'm busy, man. So are you, but I'm glad I was able to make time for you to be on here.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, bro. Thank you for coming in. Well, you kind of said it right there, timing, right? So we'll just jump right into it. My favorite Bible verse, Isaiah 60:22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen.
The time is right. So the time is now.
Let's jump in it, bro. So kind of just let us know a little bit about you. Just a little about Kid A. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, grew up in Mendota, small, you're the same. We small town community, kind of grew up there, went to high school there, went to college at Fresno State. Kind of jump into this. I want to get into
So it's your podcast, brother.
I want to say it was 2005. I was at a football game, and 2005, 2006. Dr. Lopez, who's at the time he was principal at McCabe Elementary.
Okay,
he's now the superintendent. He was actually my sophomore year. He was my math teacher. And in my senior, he was my government economics teacher. So it was nice to run into him. Hey, Adrian, how's it going? Hey, Mr. Lopez, how's it going? Hey, I'm the principal at McCabe Elementary now. If, we're looking for subs, you want to come by? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. I'm like, me be a sub. Like, do you remember how I was in school in your class? So that's pretty much kind of how I got into education. He kind of invited me to come and sub, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then a couple of months later, one of his academic coach reached out to me, said, hey, we're looking for a sub. Do you want to come in? I'm like, sure. And that's kind of how I started. My education career was just by accidentally running to Dr. Lopez at a football game.
Oh,
yeah. So that's just
okay.
Like timing, you said, timing is just like, I don't go to that football game if I don't run to him. Like, who knows what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Now, or it's just crazy how just that one interaction with someone kind of lays out the next 10 years. At the time, it's been 20 years now, but at the time, the next 10 years of my career, I guess you can say.
Yes, sir.
That exact moment.
And that kind of led you into teaching? Well,
subbing and into teaching. So he's now the superintendent.
Yeah.
But during that tenure, he was the principal.
Okay.
And then he left, and then they probably went through 2 or 3 other principals during my tenure at McCabe Elementary. There's always a lot of turnover with admin. So
yeah.
So
so you get in there and you officially become a teacher at McCabe.
Correct.
And around what year you say would that be? Because I know it started 05, but when you say, because you started subbing, so you probably subbed a few years, I'm assuming?
Yeah, subbing, and then I was kind of like I guess like the go-to sub, I guess you could say. So I picked up a lot of long-term assignments. Teachers getting pregnant, so I'm there half of the year. I was pretty much there every single day.
All pretty much, you're a teacher.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's
who, and if you don't mind me asking, who would the one that would call you to be a sub?
It was at the time. Her name is Marcy Elizondo. So it was kind of like the academic coach. She would call you, and then it was Vanessa Olivas. She would call it. I don't know who it is now. Like some districts do like an automatic system.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to sub? And you press the button. So pretty much it was just like a text like, hey, you want to come in tomorrow? Yeah, I'm free. Kind of stuff like that. So, but yeah, so it was just, so my overall tenure at McCabe Elementary or in Mendota Unified was like 10 years. I really didn't.
What grade did you teach?
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth.
I literally didn't like go to any other site. Like, I never went to the high school.
Yeah.
The junior high I didn't really go to. I did work in the after school program at the junior high, but like Washington, all those other schools, I just really never stepped foot on.
Yeah,
I was like, you know, I was the man.
I was squared there.
I was the guy. So I must have did good because they wanted me there. You know, I was able to relate to the kids, and you know, they liked me. You know, I was younger then. It's like, oh, he's cool. You know, the hair, the shoes, and you know, kids. So it was a good time.
Okay, and then I'm gonna jump into a little bit of like kind of, we talked about this off. So it kind of, remember I brought it up to you right away. You had in 2015, you had a Kanye West-themed classroom, right?
Yes. So the year before that, I taught third grade. So at the time it was Yolanda Espinoza. She was a principal. And then David Rossetti was the vice principal at the time. So
okay, Lardo's Pizza.
Lardo's Pizza.
I
got to plug in my boy. Wait, today the 19th?
Today is I don't know.
Yeah.
Check your phone.
My phone's off because I don't want it buzzing. But happy birthday. It's Lardo's birthday today. So
shoot. There you go. Shout out.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David. It's my compa too.
Yeah. Okay.
Got to get that. Yeah.
You got to throw the compas in there.
Yeah. So I got you in there. Yeah. So they approached me towards the end of the school year. Like, hey, we want you to move up to fourth grade. And I go, okay. So they go, think about it. Like, all right, let me think about it. Because I really had a good time in third grade. I knew like all the teachers and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. I go, is it okay if I brought all my students with me? You know, they're like, sure. I'm like, all right. So in third grade, you have 20 students. So it's like the max.
Okay.
Up in like fourth and fifth and sixth, you get like 30, 32 students. So essentially I had to add 12 more students. So they even let me handpick 12 other students. So I literally had, all the kids who I wanted. I knew the other third grader because they were, I just knew them from the school year. So it's like, all right, well, I don't want to get my kids bored or anything like that. So I need something fresh, like a new classroom. I'm like, and I don't know why or how, like, maybe I'll just try these, themes are always cool to, every teacher has like their theme or whatever it may be. And like, what, I'm going to do this Kanye West themed classroom. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it sounds like a cool idea. Remember, this is 2014. So I know things with now
have progressed differently.
Are crazy. I'm not a fan of what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I want to clarify that right now.
But back then he was,
this is 10 years ago. So I asked her before that school year in, I go, hey, I have this idea. Is that okay? She goes, sure. I'm going to do this, this, and that. I'm like, all right, cool. So school year ends. Mr. Rossetti actually leaves. I think he comes to Farball. So I think as the VP, he leaves McCabe. He goes to, I think Farball High School.
Okay.
Athletic director, vice principal. I can't remember exactly. So he leaves. Yolanda's still there. She's the principal. They're bringing a new vice principal. So I'm putting together my classroom, the walls. I'm doing all this decor, getting some help, all these cool ideas, and it's done. And let me just clarify to the people who are listening. I didn't have a bunch of like posters of Kanye in my class. So like, for example, my door had like the graduation bear, so with the graduation cap, so like one wall was like, he has a song called Power. So like I had power readers. So like all my top readers, I would put them on that wall. Or, just like he has a song called Champion. So I had like a champion wall with, kind of like showing my students' work and so just little. So I was getting like little niches of his songs, not even lyrics, just here, Champion, Power, things here and there.
Graduation.
Graduation, all those little things, So I'm doing all this. It looks super cool. The school year comes, kids are excited. Oh, it's cool. Because I even like paint the classroom red. You walk into this classroom, everything's red. The door's red. The walls are red. And that's something that you're not supposed to do. I got permission, but it looks cool anyways.
Yeah.
So, everything works out right. Back to school, night comes, which is, I think, like that first week of school. People walk in, parents are happy. No, they like the classroom, a lot of compliments. Admin walks in, my principal, oh my God, your classroom is great. Other teachers, we want to come here to see your classroom. Everyone.
It even made it to the news, right?
It made it to the news. So so somehow, I don't remember how, is it Reddit? So I think it ended up on Reddit.
Okay.
So I think that's where it kind of like blew up. You know? So all these photos were taken. So it's on Reddit and it blows up. So, you know, it's on Reddit and then people are reaching out to me. Can we interview you? Like, all right. So there's this huge article on Yahoo. I'm sure if you Google like Adrian Perez and Kanye West classroom, it should come up. So yeah. So
make our editing team pops that up here.
Yeah. So I'm sure it has to be. I mean, you don't really scrub everything off the internet. I mean, it's there. So so and then there's a time maybe like 2 weeks after that. It's late September, maybe right after Labor Day. We got some heat from my classroom. You know, I'm like, what did I do? So I get called in, like, oh yeah, you know, we have some complaints about your classroom. Well, who's complaining? What student? What parent? Oh, no student, no parent. Oh, okay. What teacher? No teacher. Oh, well, what community member? No community member. Like, so who's complaining? Oh, we're getting these phone calls. Like, well, who's calling in? So they're kind of like vague. Mm-hmm. So at the time I do like this other interview with like the Fresno Bee, just local like reporter, even have like the Ellen DeGeneres like show reach out.
What?
Yes,
okay.
they reached out and they even called the district office, but the district office didn't want any like attention. Yeah, I was kind of confused. I didn't know what was going on. They just were like, we're getting heat. I'm like, well, from who? So anyway, it turns out people were calling in from out of state. When I mean out of state, I'm talking about Iowa. I mean, Ohio, like this is crazy Midwest, Nebraska, like, you know, all those cornfields, like out of nowhere. Well, I get called in on this Monday, like, oh yeah, we got some complaints. And they left some voicemails over the weekend. So, okay, who? So they're playing these voicemails, and this one person said, like, oh, you got to fire that teacher. He's an N-word lover. I can't believe you guys allow this guy on your campus. So I'm getting all this heat because of Kanye. Mm-hmm. And it's more of like they're just being ignorant and they're racist because they're literally using that that N-word, calling me an N-word lover, and they're calling for me to be fired. I'm like, over what? Mm-hmm. So they're getting all this heat. So I guess, I mean, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors with admin and stuff like that. So essentially, like a couple of days later, like I'm asked to take my class down. I'm like, why am I taking? Well, why? Like, oh, just this and that. Okay, whatever. So mind you, the superintendent, Dr. Lopez, I don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
And school board members, none of them visited my classroom. Not one person from the district, well, not the superintendent, not the school board, none of those visited my classroom. So they don't even have their own opinion because they never went into my classroom. So anyways, it was at a board meeting. I went behind closed session and they kind of like spanked me. Like I got scolded. They were telling me a bunch of stuff that I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
You know? So then essentially like I got, you know, schooled and spanked in closed session about all this stuff. Like, all right, whatever. So I want to say, I don't know if I did it like that weekend, but I literally tore my walls down. Because they said literally I had to take my classroom down. Mm-hmm. Took it down. Kids came out on Monday like, oh, what happened to the classroom? Like, well, you know, some people didn't like really like it. And, you know, they're like, well, why? I thought some of the students like, but we were on the news. We were, you know, we were going to be famous. Like, oh yeah, but that's not what it's about. So they made me take, so I had like this literally bare classroom and kind of looked kind of sad because the kids, you can see like the smile on the kid's face, like just like, they knew something happened, but they don't know what happened or why it happened. These are fourth graders, so like what, 10 year olds. So they're like, you know, so that was that. And then later that day, my principal pulls me in and she reprimands me. She writes me up. I go, why are you writing me up? And she goes, oh, well, because of your classroom. But I took it down. Why? I don't understand. So I think she got heat from admin for whatever reason. And she wrote me up. And after that, I had no respect for her after that because she had my back the school year before. During the summer when I was doing my classroom, those first like 3 or 4 weeks, then all of a sudden she just like didn't have my back. Yeah. So, I mean, you're supposed to, as a principal, you're supposed to have your teacher's back. You know, I have her back. I mean, just you're a team, you're in the classroom. So after that, it was like really like
trust has been lost.
Trust has been lost, and I kind of lost respect. And a little bit before that, I think the time when she told me to take my classroom down, she called me and I go, I quit. I go, I quit. She goes, what do you mean I quit? I go, I quit. And I hung up and I didn't show up to work for 2 days. Like literally, like I was really upset. She goes, hey, well, I kind of need to know if you're going to come back to work. I'm like, all right, I'll be back. I guess a little immature of me just say like, I quit and just show. But at the end of the day, I'm like, well, it's about the kids. I'm their teacher. It's early in the school year. I just don't want to I don't want to distract any, I don't want to become a distraction. So, I mean, I just did what I was told. And then I just had to redo my classroom and stuff like that. But pretty much it was like tension was there. Like I didn't ask her for anything and she kind of like left me alone, it was kind of weird. Cause typically like principals, they walk into the classroom and, to observe, and she didn't really do that, which was fine, So like we just had that, I don't know if like
that weird relationship at that point.
So I don't know if you have any wrestling fans, but it's kind of like Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like not with all like the violence, but like we just like the boss and like the employee just like didn't get along, and that was it. And but the school year went really well. I mean, I had a really great class. I had really good coworkers and teachers. So I mean, it went well, but just that was like 3 to 4 weeks. It was just like a wild ride. And it's just like, I couldn't work for her. I didn't want to work for her.
Yeah.
And she lasted 1 more year. Then they're afraid, like sometimes they don't want to fire people, but she's actually the vice principal at the junior high. So I don't know if you call it demotion, but they moved her from the principal at McCabe to the vice principal at the junior high, and she's still there. Okay. So I'll come across her, if I have to make a delivery to the junior high, like say hi,
Yeah,
cordial, but like I don't really care for her, but that's just, I don't go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's like, not that I, hold grudge, but just like, it was just a bad time for me, and like just how you can just like, someone just turned their back, I mean, she just had to like, I think they could have went
a different route,
a different route, but the fact that like, the people who are in charge of the district didn't come into my class. Yeah. You can't form an opinion. Like, had they gone in and like, you know what, Mr. Perez, I think that is okay, but I think that's kind of inappropriate. Maybe we can change this. Just kind of like, hey, like, oh, you know what, I like that. That's okay, or that's not okay. Yeah. Don't just like tear everything down when you didn't walk in my classroom. So I was like, all right, whatever. That's just, at that point, that was just kind of like.
And I think that's the thing about when you work for a school district, or like, in my sense, when I work for the sheriff department, there's an image to portray, an image to protect, right? And I think sometimes when politics get involved like that, you're doing it for the purity of your heart. Like you said, you explained, champion, power, graduation, or no, was it power? Yeah. Correct. And so they kind of do different things, right? And there's a meaning behind it. And it's different. Yeah. Like you said, it was so different that it made the news, and it got out there.
Yeah, and I know it sounds crazy now.
No, yeah, because obviously what happened after his career.
But it sounds crazy. But at the time, it was just an idea. I got permission. I just didn't do it. I wasn't just like some rebel and like did it. Yeah. I got permission. Everything was approved. I even had like district officials walk in. They're like, oh yeah, it's cool. I mean, a lot of people who were in the higher ups didn't have a problem with it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I just felt they got heat from
the public, really. I mean, because it wasn't even the public here. I mean, it ended up being.
And then honestly, had a parent or a student or even community member like, what, I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, I don't agree with this.
Then like, all right, that's fair. I'm serving our community. Yes. So at that point, if the community don't like it, then hey, no worries.
No problem. Right? It was just an idea that I thought would be cool for the kids.
And then still to this day, like, oh, that was pretty cool. Like, yeah, I'll run into my old student. They graduated 2 years ago. So like, I'll still run into them. Like, hey, Mr. Perez.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, it was a cool time. So yeah, yeah.
No, and it's okay. And then after that, you said, what happened after that? So you left 2015, then you ran for.
Yeah, so 2015, 2016, that school year finished. I go, I'm done. And what's the word? Like, I don't really think things through sometimes. So like, what? I'm done. I quit. I'm like, all right. So I quit, and I was literally. Well, I'll get to that part. So, summer 2016, I'm done, so I'm like, all right. So your cousin, Adelia, she's like, hey, she texted me, you should run for school board. Huh? Yeah, you should run for school board. Like, why? And it's kind of like, this is why I'm like, all right. I was like, all right. So like, I go down to the county when it's time, I fill out the form and I'm run for school board. I'm running for school board. And like, everyone thought like, I was running because I wanted to like fire it. Like I had like this vendetta and like I'm gonna come in and just like, just go crazy.
Yeah.
Which is not like, so people are like, hey, I heard you're running for school board. Like everyone was like, what are your intentions? They just thought like had this bad perception because everyone thought I was out for revenge.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So, I'm campaigning to have like these huge signs like by Stimulus I think that exists anymore. That offense, so I'm campaigning. I make merch. We'll kind of get into that later. So I have like Adrian Fresh for school board hats and shirts. Like you have like students just that I know are actually wearing merch to high school and they're getting dress coded because that's like, I don't know, against policy, but they're like campaigning for me even though they can't even vote or just because, so like they're getting dress coded because they're wearing my hat. And I think it was actually, Delia's son or, a couple of people that I knew, like I was hooking them up with some merch and stuff like that. But yeah. So anyways, I get onto, I get voted in. Yeah. And at the time it was like, had like crazy amount of votes. I was kind of like, what if I don't get in? Like how embarrassing. I quit and I tried to run for school board and like, I don't get in. Like how embarrassing was that? So anyways, I get in, for the school board and I did one term, which is 4 years. And, I was actually, president for 2 of those 4 years. Oh, wow. Board. And how you become president, actually the other board members vote you to be president. So even though we had that a year earlier that we had that weird tension relationship, like behind closed doors, like I kind of put that behind me because now I'm working with these other people on the school board and even Dr. Lopez, who's the superintendent. So like I put all that behind me and they were like, they kind of told me, hey, you're different than what I thought, because everybody thought like this guy's coming in, he's going to just tear stuff up and just like cause mayhem. I don't know what they thought. Yeah. They thought I was going to just had bad intentions, I should say, but no, it worked out. I got along with everyone on the board, all the district staff, the superintendent. We worked well for those 4 years, but it was just like they just thought I just was out to get everybody, which no, I didn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't your intention. It wasn't my intention. I like the community. I like the kids. Yeah, I mean, we're in the same. We grew up in the same community. It's for the kids. Yes. And I think it's fun because I have these conversations with people who grew up like in the city, like, nah, like growing up in a small town, it's different. You have like that small town pride. Not like when you go like in a big city, like, who cares? I went to high school there, but like, no, like our community is special. It's different. The kids are just, I say it's different, but like in a good way. Yes. This is like respectable, nice, humble kids that just want to be wanted, or loved or respected. And just like, nah, it's like, why you want to be in the school for? Nah, because the kids, like, we can do these cool things and just help out. And, it's different. It's our little communities out here are different. Yeah, no, they really are. And I was lucky enough to be on the board for 4 years. And I didn't run again only because I moved to Fresno and you got to live in the community in order to run for school board. But it was, I thought it was a great experience. It taught me a lot and, just helped me work with others and build like other relationships and stuff like that. Yeah, no, and that's cool. So kind of jumping into it, and I know we touched on it a little bit. We talked about, okay, so you now have a company right here. We have the Notorious Grafix. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then tell us about that. Kind of let us know how that was formed, what year, and then kind of where you're at today. Yeah. With so when I quit teaching, I was unemployed. So I really didn't think this through. So like I quit, I don't have a job, So like for a whole year, I was unemployed. Okay. So I didn't have a job. So when I was at McCabe Elementary, I was an ASB teacher. So I was in charge of spiritware, getting stuff ordered for the kids and selling, fundraising, that type of stuff. So I kind of knew the ins and outs, of the business, kind of, so I kind of knew what needed to be done. So during 2017, so it was spring, summer 2017, we had Mendota had you guys might know him, Daniel Trejo. It was a senior year. Soccer player. Shout out Danny Trejo. Yeah, my boy Trejo. And I actually known Danny since he was a third grader. So I was his long-term sub. So I know Danny like, forever. Yeah. Since he was 8. So how add that up. So I've known Danny like almost 20 years. Yeah, for a long time. So he's a really great at the time kid, but he's turned into a great man and a lot of respect because he's actually someone people can look up to in our community. Yes, Mendota kid. He went to college, graduated, and just kept advancing, going. So like mad respect. So it was a senior year. I was on the school board. So Mendota had they actually won their second Valley title back to back in soccer. He scored his 200th goal, which is a state record. So he wanted these shirts. Hey, we need, hey, Perez, we need some shirts. Like, all right, So me and Mr. Hamasaki, who was our English teacher, kind of
shout out Hamasaki.
Yeah, Mr. Hamasaki. Anyway, so he needed like some shirts to fundraise. So we made 200 gold shirts, and we made the back-to-back Valley title apparel, to fundraise for the rings. So anyways, Mr. Hamasaki connected me with some people, like, hey, these are the people that, because at the time he had his own hardcore bass fishing, so he had his own like apparel, and so he kind of knew like the ins and outs of the business. So he introduces me to these guys, and like, all right, these are the guys that will do the apparel. So I contacted them. They got Danny's apparel done. I'm like, all right, cool. So that was that. I did Danny's stuff, and like, all right, cool. Kids were able to fundraise and make their money. Everyone had this cool little merch. So now we're in the fall of 2017. My buddy of mine, Jesse Mejia, who's the co-owner of Notorious Grafix, like, hey, we should get something going. Like, I don't know. You got to do something. Yeah, that's true. I got to do something. I need money, So luckily at the time, it was just me. No wife, no kid, no dogs, no, not just me.
You're just solo at this
I just got to just worry about myself. So like, hey, I'll help you out. We'll get it going. Like, all right. So we did like a couple of jobs, like, like at that Trejo job and like some jobs in the summertime, but like we didn't have like a legit business like license. So like, all right, well, how do I do that? Like, so I looked it up, like, oh, I have to go to Fresno County, fill out all this like paperwork, fictitious name. Oh, so I need a name. Wow. All right. So like, I don't know. Like, what are we going to call ourselves? So I break it down, and I give Jesse like 4 names. I don't remember what the other 3 names were. He goes, the Notorious Grafix. That sounds cool. I'm like, all right, we're Notorious Grafix. How I came up with that exactly, I was telling you earlier, I think I got Notorious from McGregor. Yeah. Because he's the notorious Conor McGregor. So at the time,
in 2017, guys, he was huge.
And now he's another one that's kind of gone off. So it just sounded cool. Notorious Grafix. Yeah. And then I'll spell graphics wrong, and I'll put an X at the end. So anyways, that's how I got the name. Just something random we picked. And yeah, it was in October of 2017, and we're coming up on 8 years. The company was born. Yeah, and we're still here. So it's doing well. So
and you guys are kind of big. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Obviously, Notorious, meaning Notorious Conor McGregor, being in MMA. We just did 559 fights. We just did a podcast with 2 of their fighters, right? Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because we've been doing boxing and wrestling, but specifically, I did Fight for the Fallen. Right. And I'm new to the fight game, bro. So when I'm talking about, I want to interview everyone. I've been trying to interview everyone, right? Everyone. Talking about the cut woman, the ring girls, the fighters, the announcers, all these different people. Well, I pull aside, the 2 ring girls from Fight for the Fallen. And well, it's kind of crazy because they're wearing these t-shirts, and guess who made their t-shirts? Notorious Grafix. And it's kind of crazy because I was like, I know that guy. And like you said, it's kind of funny because Mendota people, when we see each other, like unless you know each other, you're like, oh, what's up, kid? What's up, Louie, right? It's always just and everyone is, you're from Mendota, right? And it was kind of cool to see that, and you've come a long way, bro. Like that, I when you told me that, because we always pre-interview now, right? And I tell my guests that come on, I'm not going to hit you with a surprise question where it's like a curveball, right? It's going to be, no, what we talked about out there is we're going to bring here, because I want it to flow in. I want you to be comfortable, right? And when, the other day we had, Mike Daniel out there. Shout out, Mike. Thank you for coming on.
My boy, Mike.
So when me and him pre-interviewed, he came and dropped gold. Yeah. Because he came and talked about, him being, his story. Yeah. And I didn't expect it to go that way. Yeah. And when we pre-interviewed, I was like, bro, you're like, what were we going to talk about? I was like, and he started telling me, I was like, everything that you talked about.
Because cause like I don't have, I guess, not that I'm not interested, but not as interesting background as a lot of other people and guests, which is fine. People have different paths, different, how they got to this moment. But like your other guests, like you've had like some pretty cool, I guess, guests on your podcast. So it's like, I'm like, oh, because they asked me, what are you gonna talk about? I don't know. I'm like, I have my business. That's about it. I had my little issue with the classroom, about 10 years ago. But other than that, I'm
Pretty quiet guy.
Pretty quiet, regular guy. Just a regular citizen. I mean, that's pretty much. But it's
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you're humble. I'll tell you that because Notorious Grafix is pretty big in the valley. You work with a lot of different schools now,
correct.
Right?
Yes.
A lot of different companies, and obviously you're expanding into the fight game.
Yeah.
Now when people watch our podcast, that we're into the fight game, they're gonna see that, hey, Notorious Grafix, right? And it's kind of cool because you remain humble, right? And the thing is, even like with us, the podcast is small right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow. As we grow, I want to make sure I remain as humble.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I remain what the overall goal is. And like we said, we talked about the overall goal to me is about the youth, giving back to the community. People out there, I think when I bring you on, they see that, oh, wow, that's how he started. And this is how he started this company.
Yeah.
And they look at me and we talk about podcasts. Like, bro, who podcasts? Hardly nobody.
Yeah.
Who has a company that does Notorious like graphics or design? Nope, hardly nobody. I'm not saying it's very rare.
Yeah.
And so that is exactly why you're here,
Yeah. And we similar, like, I don't want to say we started with nothing, but just we had an idea.
No,
just
with nothing, bro.
Nothing. It's just like our business is a word of mouth. Word of mouth, deliver good customer service, good product, and it just expands. Like we have I don't have any great advertisement advice. It was literally a word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say thank you to all the people who just hey, Adrian and Jesse are, these guys did it. Like, all right, cool. Let me hit them up. Yeah. And a lot of times I'll get these DMs or text hey, I want to do an order. I don't know them. Someone referred them, or they just came across our Instagram page. Like, hey, man, I don't want to say half, a little bit less than half. Like, I don't know these people. Yeah. And that's totally fine. But I get to know them, and then they become my customers. Then we just kind of build that rapport, the rapport, and then oh yeah, and then they refer you to someone else, and then it just
keep going and going
like that, and it's just that's just how you build a business. I mean, I don't know. That's how we built ours, and it all comes down to being respectful, building rapport, just good customer service.
And like we said, when we started our podcast, came in hot timing. Yeah. Right. It's all about timing. Yeah. Things have to align right a certain way. And I'll jump into kind of the next question. I mean, I try not to push it because we talk about being politics and religion could be kind of, touchy. But this podcast is mainly about, obviously we start with the Bible verse. So I ask every, guest that comes on now, what is your relationship like with the Lord?
So actually, I grew up going to church. Mm-hmm. So when I was younger, I went to catechism. Okay. So I don't know, mom and dad made me go to catechism.
Yeah, and I think all of us did in Mendota, bro.
So I went to catechism, and I know my dad, he grew up in the Catholic Church. He actually went to St. Joseph's. I don't think it exists anymore in Far, because my dad's from Farball.
Yeah, it's right here.
But this is still...
They just shut it down not too long ago.
So my dad was an altar boy. I'm like, Dad, you're an altar boy, man. All right, I guess. So, so when I was young, I would go to the Mendota, the Catholic Church. Mm-hmm. And then stopped going, and then I started going to Sunday school at the Pentecostal church right there by the high school in Mendota. Yeah. My parents didn't go, but her name was Sister Smalley. She had this old car, and she would just pick up kids to go to Sunday school. And I was one of the kids, mm-hmm. I think my brothers, and she had this old, I don't even know what type of car it was. It was just pick you up, take you to Sunday school, take you home. So that was so we started going to Sunday school. And then later on, my parents and a lot of my aunts and uncles, they got saved, and they all pretty much still now they still attend church.
Pretty consistent.
But they were they partied not everybody, but they would party. Yeah. And then eventually they stopped partying, and they gave their life to the Lord. And then my uncle, Pastor Rene, he was the pastor at the Pentecostal church mm-hmm. in Mendota, but now he has his own church at the it's called the New Day Worship. Okay. Out there in Kerman. So majority of my family goes to his church in Kerman. But I go to North Point. Okay. Out in Fresno.
We've been invited to that one.
I go when I can. I'm not religiously going, but my daughter, she loves Sunday school. So we try to take her as much as we can to Sunday school. But she loves, you want to kind of grow up, in the Lord, and kind of teach her the right I guess path or way or stuff like that. But yeah, so we take her to Sunday school. She went to the summer camp the last 2 years. That's a Bible, whatever it's called, Bible summer camp or whatever it's called. So she's gone the last 2 years.
How old is your daughter?
She just turned 5 in April.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
He's in TK kindergarten.
she just started kindergarten yesterday.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Congrats,
so,
bro.
Yeah, thanks. So she just started. It was a big day for all of us. Yeah, and she's little, so
Yeah.
well, her parents are little, so she's gonna be little. But yeah, big old backpack, and the kindergartens are twice her size just because she's small. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no. And then see, we're talking about kind of the Lord, like, right? I want to clarify real quick, because when I talk about it's about relationship, not religion, that does not mean like don't go to church, don't follow it. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that you got to have a relationship with the Lord, and in time, he will tell you what to do, what church to go to, or how to, how you're going to do it, or vice versa. You can attend certain churches.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk bad about any denomination or any church in particular. I just want to say, like, there's just going to be some churches for you and some that are not.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like as me doing this platform, I don't like to be that pushy person, because I can say, I grew up Catholic, but I think I'm more of like a Christian.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, because as I've said this, I've been getting recruited to go to churches. North Point has been one of them lately,
And there's they have a campus in Kerman that they just opened up, but there's the Fresno.
Yeah, it's right there off of Herndon, right?
Herndon and
because I'm gonna have them on the podcast on Thursday. Linda Linda Espinoza.
They go there, yeah.
Yeah, and Linda used to be my neighbor.
Yeah, okay.
And then Linda Espinoza is my wife's cousin.
Okay.
And so they just had an event here not too long ago called Moms in Prayer.
Okay.
And Linda, my neighbor, Linda DiFrancesco, had hit me up, and she was like, hey, if you get time, would you come out and just, I don't know, do an interview or two? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So then I get there, and, at first I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Right. And so I was just like, Lord, help me. And then get there. And I know that my neighbors, Chris and Linda, so I'm talk to them, feel kind of comfortable. And she's like, oh, just, everyone just talk to people. And I'm like, and a lot of times, bro, you go with the mic and you're like, hey, the people are not going to want to talk. You know?
Especially catch them off guard too.
Yes. And like, well, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I don't know. I never been to this event. So I guess we'll talk about the event. Right.
Yeah.
So I started talking to the Lindas, and they started talking about how it was formed. And then I was like, well, we got to get you on a podcast. And then so from there, it went there. And I guess Linda Espinoza didn't know that I had kind of came to the Lord. Yeah. And so it was kind of like, I get it, it's her opportunity to be like, well, he should come to our church.
Yeah.
And right now that we're looking for a church, I feel like I was telling you, like, it's not that I'm not going to go to church. I feel that the Lord is telling me to go, but I'm in that like isolation season right now.
Yeah.
So how it's funny how you said that? I am identical like you, bro. Yeah. I do things that I don't think.
Yeah.
I just, okay, boom, right? So, obviously when I left the sheriff department, I didn't think about that move, and that was the hard one for me. I want to say that. But when I left Good Guys, like, that was the easiest one.
Yeah.
Like, but it's as far as like income, right?
Yeah.
I had some money saved. But the thing is, remember, you were solo.
Yeah.
You had no wife, no kid, no. Bro, I have a mortgage. I have family. So I've been kind of like, my prayers to the Lord have been like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And I could tell you this, bro. I ran into a gentleman the other day, right? And I'm on my walk, and I'm thinking, I'm like, just Lord, give me a sign. Like, what do I do? I'm trying to kind of lose it. What do I, bills, right? And I go up to this gentleman, and the Lord puts it on my heart to be like, go talk to him. I'm just like, go talk to him. Like, what am I going to say?
With your mic.
Right. And so, no, I'm just walking. Right. And so I go there, and I sit down, and I'm just like, and I'm literally thinking like, okay, what I say? And I just go, how are you? Right. It's 7:30 on a Sunday morning, bro. Yeah. He just goes, hanging in there, brother. So I'm like, hanging in there Sunday morning. Like, so I was like, okay. And we just start talking. And then as we get into our conversation about the Lord, he's like, I'll tell you this, the Lord is my pillow. He's not my rock. Boom. And then at that moment, the Lord's like, you have pillow faith, and I'm just like, wow. And so I start talking to him, our conversation goes, and I just go, hey, I went on a limb. I'm going to barbecue later. If you want to come by, you're more than welcome to stop by. Right. And he's like, well, what do you want? And the way I reacted at the time, bro, remember, we're from Mendota, we grew up a certain way, and I wanted to react worldly. I wanted to be like, well, what can you offer me? I want nothing from you, bro. Like, right? But I was just like, I want nothing, bro. I just want you to know that you could trust God.
Yeah.
Right. And then as I'm telling him this, and I go, you know what? If you want to come by, I already, this is my address. Boom, boom. I shake his hand and I walk out. As I walk away, I literally just like, I don't want nothing. Trust God. Louis, take your own advice. Right. Stop having pillow faith. Use the Lord as your rock. as I'm dude, and I just start, bro. I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with everybody. I just start bawling as I'm walking. People might think of me like, what the heck happened to this guy? Right? I'm walking, and I'm walking back, and it's just like. I feel like when the walk is, that's why I tell people like, I'm not here to judge, bro. Who am I to judge one another? And when you talk about it, it's just, everyone has a different story, right? Everyone has a unique, different story. And the reason I think we can kind of relate to one another is just the fact that, like you said, this podcast is starting from kind of the ground up. Yeah. Notorious Grafix started from the ground up. Yeah. And it does take, it's kind of crazy because little word of mouth, little things like getting hit up by 559 fights. Yeah. It starts with baby steps, right? Yeah. I told you the other day, man, like I have it's kind of crazy because sometimes I tell myself, how do I have a tough life? Right. But when I'm over here making steaks, I'm going to meet all these up and coming big fighters.
You think it's tough, but other people have it
way worse. Right.
I mean, you have a roof over your head, a family, eating steaks.
And not only that, a car that works. It might be older, but it works.
It'll get you to
from point A to point B. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I think it's about just really accepting the gratitude, the relationships you make in time. And so that's why I feel like I've been on there, and I kind of, when you're like, well, what's my podcast going to be about? I was like, bro, I did not know. Honestly, I'm one. I did not know that Notorious Grafix, how it started. Yeah. I knew you were involved in it, but I didn't know that you were like the owner. I mean, now I know you have your partner. Yeah. But it's kind of like crazy how you can say it and look at where it's kind of grown into.
Yeah. I mean, I live off of it.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's allowed you to, live your, like, I mean, honestly, you kind of live your life the way you kind of want, right? I mean, schedule. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's days where you get busy.
Well, now that, because my wife teaches, so I have to, well, I don't have to, but I drop off my daughter and pick her up from kindergarten. Mm-hmm. If I had another job, how was my daughter going to get to school and from school?
You have to do daycare.
I mean, so like she can't take a bus. Yeah. I have to drive. So just like things like that, it works out. Hey, my job allows me to take my daughter every morning to school, work in between, pick her up, just because, that's just how it is. It's just, everything works out. Yeah. I know that's just, it's a plan. Like God's plan, or however you want to put it, but that's just, we're just fortunate enough that, and I mean, we're only 2 days in to her kindergarten, but like, it's fun. I got to take her every morning, pick her up, because mom would take her to a preschool because the preschool was right by on the way to work. So mom would take her every day to preschool and pick her up almost every day. So I didn't get to do that, and she did it for 3 years. Every now and then I would take my daughter or pick her up, but you're talking about maybe 5 out of 100 times, I was able to do that. But now it's me. Now mom's all that. Well, I don't get to like pick her up. I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's my turn now.
Yeah. It's your turn.
But yeah. It's my turn. But yeah, I mean, we're just grateful that, that for the things we have. And I think the older we get, you realize like the little things matter.
Yes.
More than
for sure.
The other, when you're younger, like materialistic things. And I want this. I want this. I want to look like this. I want to wear this. And you know how it goes.
Yes, sir.
That's how we were all at one point. But now, like, hey, don't matter.
Yeah, no. And I mean, I'm not trying to spill the beans here, but you have one, right?
Yes.
Correct. And are you guys planning on having more children maybe down the road, or?
We haven't really talked about it. So it was essentially like my daughter went to Bryan Academy preschool for 3 years, and it was pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. So at the time, we're like, wow, we both work. So it's like had to have two in Bryan Academy. How do we survive? So it's just kind of one of those things. Well, when she's out of Bryan Academy, maybe, but then again, we're in the same situation where we're gonna have to send her to preschool again. It's just like it's expensive. Daycare or preschool with all that stuff is expensive. Because like when I was younger, it might be the same for you. Like grandma can watch me, or my aunt and uncle, or after school I go to grandma's house. Grandma stayed home. Yeah. Or my mom, my mom was, at the time when I was growing up, she worked seasonal, so mom was home. Mm-hmm. Now, like in most circumstances, both parents work full time. So when you're in your son or daughter's 1 or 2, you gotta go to daycare, and someone's got to pay for daycare. Yeah. So it's like it's mad respect for the people who can do that.
Yes.
So to answer your question, as of now, no, but you never know.
You never know.
I'm getting a little older, so so I don't want to be like picking up my daughter. Is that your grandpa or your dad?
Well, just like I was telling Mike, and I even tell you, bro, like you guys don't look that much older. Like it's kind of crazy because me and my wife today, for example, we go and our little boy's shy. He's not like dad, bro. Like he's not a talker. He's not, and he can misinterpret his words, and I learned this, and this is why I feel like the Lord has, when I worked at Good Guys, bro, I really learned what customer service was. Yeah. I learned how people can be,
Yeah.
how people are,
Customer's
right?
always right.
You know, and so when he comes home one day, he's like, he didn't pass Spanish. You know, he got a D in it. So he was like, and they gave him Spanish too. So we're like, how does that even happen if you didn't pass Spanish 1, right?
I need Spanish too.
And so how are you going to get Spanish 2? So he's like, well, they told me just figure it out. So then as a parent, you know, initially, and I'm kind of glad, like, I thank the Lord that he told me this on a Friday evening. Well, school's closed. So if he would have told me this like Thursday, I would have gone, you know, hot, right? Yeah. So it comes in Monday. Well, I had the interview in Hollister early in the morning. So I didn't get so this morning I go in and I'm just like, you know, Lord, please don't allow me to, you know, make a fool of myself. Yeah. Just let me go in here and be as respectful as I can. And I remembered, how did you handle the customers that came in rude? So I'm not going to be that guy. Yeah. So I went in there and I see the counselor, right? We go in and I'm like, good morning, you know, obviously. And I go, I'm going to come off and I'm going to say it like this. And I go, I know my son is very shy and he could misinterpret his words, but I'm pretty sure you didn't say this, but he said that you told him to figure it out. And she's like laughing. She's like, no, I didn't say that. And I was like, you know, it's all good. Like, I just want to make sure, is there anything we can do to fix this? You know, how can we be of assistance? Do we have to move his schedule around? Whatever the case may be. And I'll tell you this, bro, this is how good God is. So as the way I approached her, I'm sitting there, right? And I'm like, well, I got to shoot my shot for a podcast, right? The worst she could tell me is no. Right, yeah. So I'm like, hey, we're a local podcast, right? And we've done, you know, I had to throw my little work out there. I've done the mayor, Mendota, the mayor of Fireball. And, you know, I'm working on, you know, some teachers. And I told her the people that we had kind of working, right? And she's like, I go, would you do a podcast? And same thing like you. She's like, well, what would I talk about? And I was like, well, you've been doing counseling for 9 years, right? So I guess you told me that week 1 was crazy. Yeah. I mean, you can probably talk about how you got into counseling or how you've been in counselor for 9 years or teaching the school, what it's like interacting with the kids, you know. I go, in 9 years, we're in 2025. So 9 years ago, it was 2020. So I go, maybe did you have Josh Allen? So I was talking like, I go, you got a podcast. And she's like, I'll do it. And then so boom, she gives us the information. And I walk out of there and I was like, I told my wife, see, imagine if we would have came in like hot. I go, man, look at now we landed a podcast, you know, and it's kind of, I guess it's the way everything has to happen the way it's supposed to happen for a reason, right? And like I tell people, I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, bro. You know, I lost my career, my law enforcement career over playing basketball, you know, but if it would have never happened that way, we're not sitting inside the pod with Lou would have never been born. Correct. You know, I remember I was trying to tell you, and I'll give another shout out to Mike Request. Mike was my drama teacher, bro. And so Mike's like, that's where, you know, I brought this creativity out of you, and, you know, and it was kind of funny, bro. And I was like, well, yeah, then 20 years ago, bro. Cause he started at 05. Yeah. I graduated 06. Yeah. And so drama class, right? Yeah. And, but in reality, I'll tell you guys the truth. It's Inside the Pod with Lou was kind of like created in 19. And meaning like the idea. And then it kind of came to fruition in 2025. And the crazy part is, bro, I wanted to do it like the mics. I wanted to do it in my garage. Yeah. And then my wife's like, how are you gonna do it in the garage? No, like, you know, let's do it, you know, in here. And we started doing it. And it's kind of like, I thought I was going to talk about COs and, you know, law enforcement. Correct. And the Lord has led me to where I'm bringing on the Notorious Grafix owner. You get different stories. Different stories. Now people, and now I'm really pushing Central Valley talent. Yeah. Because your story is something to give. You were a teacher for X amount of years. You kind of gave us that cool story about, you know, the Kanye West and how everything kind of transpired, going into the school board, you know, that's led you. Now you're being in, you know, this business. Yeah. So I guess kind of asking you, right? How is this business? I mean, how like, obviously it starts off kind of rough and slow, right? And then, did you kind of pick up going and flowing kind of faster? Can you give us a little bit of how? Yeah, so it's kind of transpired. Gradually, you kind of just, because when you start, you said it's word of mouth, so yeah. So you start off with 0 customers. Yeah, you're already been like, who's gonna do stuff with you? So luckily, Jesse, he works for Max Equipment in Kerman, so that was one of our first customers. I know Rolando Castro, he was at Mendota Small. He was one of our first customers. And shout out Rolando. Yeah. Another Mendota boy. Yeah. So, so just little things like that. And I don't know at what point we're just got like, I don't want to say big, but oh, we're making money now. Yeah. Let's say relevant. Because big and I mean, you are, bro. I'm saying, you all made it to Fight for the Fallen. Like I'm telling you, I see everyone goes to you. You were like kind of like the plug, you know, from hats and shirts and. But yeah, so just building rapport, like I said, just word of mouth, and it just
just kind of,
and it's a good customer service.
yeah, good customer service. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
You don't want to be rude, or, something goes wrong with an order, you fix it.
Yeah.
Hey, this hat's messed up, or actually I ordered 24, but I got 22. Oh, my bad. Let me
Get you the 2.
Little things like that. Hey,
Small details.
oh, I didn't order it's the wrong size. Oh, my bad. Let me, mistakes happen.
Yes.
It don't happen often, but when things happen, you always make it right.
Yeah.
And people see that, and it goes a long way. So I do a lot of stuff for Kerman Unified, Fresno Unified, especially Edison High School. They do a lot of stuff.
Shout out Edison.
Yeah, and how I got Edison, Mr. Arredondo.
I was like Carlos Arredondo.
Yeah, so he was principal Mendota, vice principal here in Faribault. He was actually at Edison, and he was like, "Hey, we need some shirts for something. I need some shirts." Like, all right. I did a little order for Edison. He goes, "Hey, I'm actually leaving Edison." I'm like, "Oh man, my plug's leaving." So I was like, "Oh man, really get my foot into the door." I'm thinking like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave your card with one of the vice principals." All right, so Carlos moves on, Mr. Redondo moves on to the district office, and one day, one of the vice principals, Miss Blanco, goes, "Hey, Adrian, this is Lorinda. I met you last year. Mr. Redondo left me your information." I'm like, "Hey, yeah." She goes, "I need this." All right, and then boom. And I've been doing their stuff for I do not athletic stuff, but all of this ASB stuff, office staff stuff. I do a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
Edison,
that's awesome.
so just little just Carlos not even there. He just leaves my card. I just literally did one small job for him, and then it exploded. And then from there, I don't know if you remember Coach Kyle, Faribault High School, Goss.
No, I don't.
So he coached. He just left a couple years ago. So, anyways, he was the Faribault varsity coach here and he left.
Football or what?
Basketball.
Basketball.
He left. He's at Bullard now.
Oh, McCall?
No.
Oh,
Kyle. No, McCall. No.
I was like, McCall Hall? No.
So he's at Bullard now.
Okay.
He's one of the assistants at Bullard, and he got me in. Like, "Hey, Adrian, because I might have did one thing for him in Faribault.
Okay.
He's at Bullard now. "Hey, I need some we need some stuff."
Yeah.
So I do all of their camp. They'd run this huge basketball camp in the wintertime, 200 uniforms for all the kids. I do the high school summer. We do the summer league stuff, coaching gear. And then he tells the girls coach,
And,
boom,
yeah.
the girl, and then that coach tells the Hoover coach, like, hey, and it just little things like that, and just it just takes one person. And I do stuff at Sanger West because I know the football coach, and he tells the volleyball coach, and
just word them out,
and then that's basically what it is. And oh yeah, Adrian's a good guy, Jesse's a good guy, they do good work, and they just kind of goes from there. It's kind of crazy how things happen, but like
you said, it's all about that. We'll bring it back once again. It's all about Isaiah 60:22, the timing, right?
The timing. And I'm thankful for those people that's like, hey, we'll give these guys a chance, or here's Adrian's card, or whatever, Notorious Grafix, and whatever, and then we just go.
No, because I'm gonna be honest, bro. Obviously you've been a little bit older than me, but I've always had a good relationship with you. I grew up with your brother Yosh, and
shout out to Yosh.
Shout out to Yosh. He was gonna actually come on too. I assumed, or I thought he was at the time he was the wrestling coach back then, and now he's at South, right?
He's at Matilda
Torres. Sorry, I get it confused with both of them.
Well, he was at South,
and then he had told me that he wanted to bring on some of his guys, some of his wrestlers that are. And I was like, and I guess they're going to the military, so I was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. And then he was like, kind of without because they didn't line up. And then I was like, once again, I texted him back. I put Isaiah 60:22, bro. When the time is right, the Lord will make it happen, bro. It's all good. And he's like, true. And I was like, all right. So we shout out Yosh once again. I told him, don't worry about it. When it happens, it'll happen, you know?
So, it'll happen.
And like us, it took, at the time, bro, because I'm telling you, when I initially started this, dude, I was like, who am I going to bring on? And, how's it going to go? And I'm telling you, even my old department, bro, they're showing me a lot of love. And I tell people what transpired with me, I look at it it had to happen. Yeah. Things had to occur. I had to take accountability for things, what I did. And I look at it now, it's great because at the end of the day, I never burned that bridge, right? I still have contacts with everybody there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of slowly working out because people initially were like, well, what are you going to go on and say? Are you going to come out? Like you said, when you went into the school board, were you going to be this way? And I think people are understanding no, I only talk good. I actually might have, I'm not going to overspeak it, but I'm trying to work right now something where I bring the recruitment team on. Yeah. And we talk about, possibly because they need staff, they need officers. They need officers, so I want to help the best I can. Like I tell people, if you're looking for a career, it's a great career, you know. But for me, at least where I'm at right now in my life, like you said, the blessing for me is, I get to take my daughter to school now.
Yeah.
I get to see little Lou now, you know, like I missed his whole childhood trying to be,
because you're at work,
trying to promote and trying to do my thing. So, and I remember like, dude, for the longest time, I always like kind of like hammered myself, like, man, you know, like I missed his whole childhood, you know, and like my boy Mario Placencia, shout out to Mario and Adam. Adam's going to UC San Diego now.
That's good.
Right. And so they came on the podcast, and my boy Tito Verduzco, you know, shout out to him. He was coaching from his little boy young, right?
Yeah.
So when I kind of got into the coaching scene, think of it like I came in late, bro, and little Lou's not up to speed with everybody. So, and I come in gun ho, I'm competitive, you know, so I'm like, you know, and it's funny because Mike, you know, he runs the league here. Cal Ripken.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike for letting me do the uniforms.
Yeah. And then there you go. And then you do the uniforms there too. Right. And it's all who you know. Right. Yeah. And it's funny because I thought, dude, you and Mike were so close. I thought you guys were family.
We're pretty much.
You pretty much are. But you mean third grade, right?
Yeah. We go, him and his brother Nick. So.
Me and Tito, same thing, fourth grade. We go, you know? Back. And so those friends are so rare. Like you don't really see that these days.
And I'm fortunate to have a handful. Well, I have more than a handful. Of good for that. You go way back.
I think that talks more of the person you are too, bro. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, every time I interacted with you, like always good. Yeah. I think we actually first time our competition was when we joined the fantasy football league together.
Oh yeah.
With that new guy. New guy. Shout out to new guy.
Yeah, new guy still running. He's still running the
fantasy league out there. Are you still in it?
I'm not in the league anymore.
Oh, okay.
I just do pick 'em.
Okay.
Because fantasy's fun, but it's just like I just want to watch my team play.
Yeah.
So this is my second or third year not in fantasy
any at all.
I just do like the weekly pick 'em.
Wow.
That's it. Just because I put in my time.
Yeah. No, because I remember because they're doing the draft of the day, and Tony Rojas, shout out Tony Rojas, he's gonna come on the podcast.
Tony Rojas, Mendota baseball. I did some stuff for him.
Okay, there you go. See,
shout outs. Yeah.
So Tony and Chris Marquez are going to come on.
Okay.
You know, because initially I landed Chris because it was Teacher Appreciation Week.
Okay.
And so I told Chris, you should come on. He's like, oh yeah, I got you, bro. And then like it kind of like lingered into where one day I was like, hey, bro, we should bring you and Tony on. You know.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll go when Coach goes on, right? So then now I've been trying to get both of them to come on.
Okay.
So now they're finally going to come on. We're trying to land a date, kind of like with you, right? And I go, no, we're in time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because Tony had posted something and they're doing a fantasy football draft. Well, who do I see right in the middle of the picture? Tito Verduzco, my boy. So I go, orale, Tony, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, bro, it's new guys draft. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it's kind of funny because, I did that league one year. And that was like one of my first times getting in fantasy football. And I actually contemplated not coming back this year. But I won in one of the leagues. They're like, bro, how are you not going to come back?
Yeah.
I want that run back,
Yeah, it's fun, but it's like,
I understand.
I just want to... I'm a Niner fan.
Yeah.
Shout out to the 49ers. But it's just like, you want you have guys playing against the 49ers. Like, I want that guy to score a touchdown, but I want my team to win. I'm like,
that's true, bro.
Conflict. It's fun. It's like, I was like, you know what? Because new guy hit me up. I go, I'm out. He goes, you sure? I go, I'm sure, dude. I'm out. So.
And then you're getting busy. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It takes, you got to know who to pick up, who to draft. I know like the main guys, but you need a deep dive.
Yes, you do. You need to have a good bench.
Yeah,
right.
So stuff like that. So I enjoy it, but it's just better to sit back and not worry about.
Yeah,
I just get to just do pick a team, and
now you got your little girl kind of growing older, right? Yeah. You got a family now, Marina Solo Bolo. Yeah. You said you have dogs too, right?
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Because I remember you used to promote the husky.
Yeah, his name's Isco, the husky.
Yeah, Isco.
And then I have a little terrier named Bale.
Okay.
So real quick about the husky.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was unemployed that year, it was a little rough. Because like I said, not working. So at the time, I had a student and she had huskies. And at first I was always obsessed with huskies. I don't know why. They look like wolves. They just look cool. So I go, hey, my student's name's Andrea. And I go, hey, when your dog has more puppies, let me know. She goes, okay, Mr. Perez. Well, sure enough, a couple of minutes later, hey, Mr. Perez, Luna had more puppies. Do you still want one? Or I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So she's all right. Well, come to the house. So I go, she goes, oh, we picked this one for you. I'm like, all right. She goes, well, it'll be ready in 2 weeks, like the shots. And I'm like, all right. And then I picked up the puppy and I was like, oh, shit, what I never had my own dog. Like parents I was like, so the first thing that my girl, she took it home for a couple of days. She goes, well, I can't watch the dogs. And I dumped him off to my parents. Like, Dad, here, you guys put him in the backyard. He's, then I gave it to my brother Isaac. And at the time he was working in what's the prison out there in Santa Maria?
No, San Luis Obispo?
Yeah, that one.
Slow.
What's that, men's colony? No.
Yeah, men's colony.
But he was, so he had the dog for a week, and then like I felt kind of bad because I got this dog and I was like wasn't responding. And finally, it's my dog, so I took him in and like we're like, it sounds kind of weird, but like man's best friend.
Yeah,
because I'm home chilling. Who's with me? My dog. Let's go for a walk. Because essentially I was like I wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of everyone else was working. Everyone else was doing house like family and kids. I'm like my dog. So he kind of like. Means I know it sounds kind of like weird, but like he means a lot to me because during that rough time in my life, I mean, I had family I can depend on, but it was just like literally me and my dog, and he's that's why I don't know if you can see, but I have a tattoo of my dog, my dog.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so just
respect right there.
Yeah, so
because I had a dog named Buster, so I know how you feel.
I remember, but I met Buster. I don't know why I came one day and. I must have dropped off something, but you guys just got him actually.
Yeah, dude, that was the best dog, bro. But he had seizures really bad, and then he ended up, obviously passing. But I tell my wife, I've still been. Cause I'm on my third bulldog.
Okay,
and I've been like, this one is cool. His name's Raider. Oh, but he just no one's like Buster, bro. Like, cause when I'm telling you, when I'd get up in the morning, cause at the time I was an officer, right? Yeah. So I'm getting up at 4 a.m. He's up with me, bro, chilling right there by the shower. I get home from work, he's right there waiting for me. So like that was like probably the way your dog is. He was my dog.
And my dog now, he goes where my daughter's. So my daughter's asleep. He lays on the floor.
Oh,
like
there you go. Yeah.
He's he's just kind of like, I'm trying to cook. He's right there. But they just want to be around.
They just want to be around you.
But yeah, dogs,
like you said, man's best friend.
Yeah. And they are. I mean, all dogs go to heaven too.
Yeah. So, for sure.
Buster's right there.
Yeah, look, he's right there. Look at, see right there on the ground? Oh, yeah. Buster. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because when they made that picture for us, obviously, like we talk about tough times, that was when we announced we're going to have our third child, and we obviously miscarried. And then we had just lost Buster. So that's why I tell people that picture means it's so significant to us. And that's why I want to make sure that picture always stays on. When Inside the Pod with Lou goes, we're always going to try to have that picture on.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, like, when we do the studio in Fresno, it's so different. Here is Inside the Pod with Lou, bro.
It's like it's home.
Yeah,
it's like home.
It's the vibe, right? And I feel like I'm kind of, when these things come on, think of it like when you're getting an order in, bro. I don't know how you feel, or I don't know how you get pumped up, but like I get up every day when I'm having a podcast, bro. I'm pumped up,
and it is weird because like we like a day where I don't get an order. It's like all of a sudden like, oh, I got 10 orders I have to like respond and stuff. It just comes and goes, and I'm just blessed, but yeah, I'm just blessed that I can be able to, I guess, do what you love, do what I love, do what I do, able to support.
Because they say like when you do what you love, you're not working.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess you can say.
I mean, I'm working, but not like I'm not working.
Yeah.
Oh, you come home, well, you've been part of the grind. It's like, oh man, you just can't wait to go home.
For sure, bro.
Like, you don't want to get up the next day to go back to the grind and stuff like that. But yeah, to each their own, and I'm just fortunate.
Yes, sir.
Blessed and
for sure.
So I'm not. This is where I'm at now. And like I said, it's just thankful for people who spread the word.
Yeah, and then when they see the podcast, obviously people that didn't know, he's the plug right here, Notorious Grafix. So you guys need anything and just to kind of let them know what you offer. What do you guys?
We do anything that we can screen print. Shirts, sweaters, embroidery. So any screen printing, any embroidery. You need banners, you need stickers, business cards, canopies.
Yeah. The canopy one, that's when you got me, because like I follow Rosette, and I always used to call him Rosette Dog, right?
Yeah.
But Lardo's Pizza. And I saw his canopy, bro. And I was telling my team too, I was like, hey, we need to get one of those canopies, And
I don't mean to put him, and I want to thank Lardo, Mr. Rossetti, David, or whatever you call him, my compa, whatever.
I call him Rosette Dog, but most people know him as.
He's put in a good word for us too with business. He was he was the vice principal at the middle school here, but he kept my contact, and so they're hitting me up. Hey, so
it's always word of mouth.
The plug is not there, but it's
still kind of there.
Yeah, because thanks to him, So hey, you need anything, Adrian will take care of you. But yeah, Lardo's. Have you had the pizza?
I have not.
Oh man,
I have not, bro. So I in time, I definitely want to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to go to one of his pop-ups.
Yeah,
because we try to get him on the podcast, and I think once again, and I don't try to force no one.
Yeah,
I feel like I think when people talk they think, well, what are you going to ask?
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? Right. And so like what I want people to understand too, that are watching this down the road is, you know, how you came in, right? I know you, but say I don't know you.
Yeah.
I always bring you in. I try to get you comfortable. Hey, you want a coffee? You want some water?
Yeah.
We'll talk. We kind of go over, okay, what's the do's and don'ts? What do you want to talk about? What don't you want to talk about? And I want to make sure you're as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the way you have your customer service and the way you want to make things right with people.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. Like, I don't want people to think, well, I went to his house and he brought me on the podcast and he asked me all these questions and
the dog was barking.
Yeah, he set me up and
the AC was in
right. And dude, that's the thing is that we're in a room where it's direct. No. I make sure I'm blessed, right? I have solar, so we can run it a little colder. But there's been times where we've been in here, bro, and it's so hot because the lighting and things kind of hit you, right? But so I think people just are nervous to see what are they going to talk about, you know? And for me, I'll be honest, bro, like I can care less about like the clicks and the views, you know, because it's about the conversation. Yeah. I want people like, I've been blessed and we're getting there. Like I took a whole month and a half off on YouTube. Yeah. You need 3,000 hours to get paid from YouTube. That's a lot. And we're at 1,700. Getting there. We just started in April. Yeah. You know, and we took a month and a half off of not promoting. So I feel like once we promote season 2 and the clips and things will come out, I mean, in God's time, we'll get there, you know? And much respect to the other guests who share their story. Yeah. Everyone has different, you gotta come, you gotta listen, but it's very personal. Very personal, you know. I don't know if I could be able to talk like that. Yeah. Like that, you know. I mean, I don't have that experience, but you know, it takes a lot of courage to come in and talk about those experiences that they had. So much respect to the previous guests come in here and share that, you know, essentially the world, because anybody can. Yeah. Like you said, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. Yeah. You know, and it's not going away. It's got on there, and there's going to be haters and trolls just because that's what people do. They just, they just want to just hate. I can honestly, I tell you, I had my first comment the other day, and it hit me because I was like, man, am I really coming on here to preach? Like, I don't want to be a false teaching or false prophecy or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But I was like, no, I'm not even trying to preach nothing. I'm just literally like doing a Bible verse, talking about my relationship with the Lord. Yeah. And I'm telling people, like, I'm just telling you, like, that's what I say. I'm not telling you to go to a church, not to go to a church. Listen to God. Whatever God is doing. You should invite that guy. I know someone had told me, they're like, you should bring him on. Yeah, bring him on. And you know, I mean, like, at the end of the day, once again, I think when we get a little bit bigger and when we can go to more of like the studio version of it, because remember, I bring people into my home. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that's a vulnerability because, you know, your trust. Yeah. It's different. You know, this is your home, your safe place. So that's kind of where I'm right now, at least the podcast wise. If I'm going to bring, because I do want to bring on, like, I don't want people to think I'm going to hide from it. Like, if I'm going to bring you on, I want to pray on it. I want to make sure it's going to be good content for everyone. Of course. But if you're a stranger, right, I don't, and in most respectful way possible, I don't want you to come into my home. Yeah. No, you know, if I don't know you. So I kind of I want to build the studio because I've been blessed with the garage. Yeah. So I'd be able to bring like strangers in there, and they're not necessarily coming into the home; they're going to the studio. Correct. You know, and from there, and then I think in God's timing, you know, everything will kind of align. Because I do have the studio in Fresno too. Okay. But then once again, remember I was telling you how like that guy's got a lot going on, and you know, he helps it's been blessed for it, but like he's trying to catch up on his stuff. And you know, I was telling you, like, he has other podcasters too, and they're landing people. Like I was telling you prior, I don't really want to speak on, but he was landing big names. You know, those are big names, and so he's got a lot going on. So I think mid-September is when I'll be able to go back to Fresno. But in the meantime, I've been blessed to say, hey, I'm lined up with people that I know, and that are good podcasts that are going to come on here. And it's a good way to kind of, I don't want to say ease into things, but you know, just kind of get it rolling, and then from there. And you probably might know this, but like, don't get discouraged because people. You're not going to satisfy everyone. Everybody, everyone. There's even when you get bigger. I mean, it's more. I don't want to say haters or trolls, but to be honest, it is more. Let's say more criticism. More criticism, and just to go back, I kind of left this out earlier on my Kanye classroom on that Yahoo article. Man, there was some crazy stuff, and I didn't read it. I didn't care, but my mom was reading it. My mom was getting all upset. Like, Mom, don't worry about it. These are strangers. Like, just people being hating, criticizing, talking smack, putting me down. Like, you know what? Don't worry about that. Yeah. And there's gonna be there's people just like to do it. Yeah. And they're gonna find any little thing to like want to
put you down or
Yeah.
that's just for no reason. They don't even know you. Be like,
Yeah. No, for sure. I've been pretty blessed, but I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I could feel it. Cause especially like I told you, I'm not trying to put nobody on blast out there, but like when they see the Hector Garcia podcast, like I tell you, that's when it comes to like religion, that's going to be a very big topic. And I know I'm prepared for it because at the end of the day, I'm bringing anybody on, bro. Like if you want to tell your story, we'll do it. And like I said, I grew up with them, you know, I grew up with you. I grew up with Mike.
And it's going to be when the time comes, it's going to be, or when it airs or
releases. Yeah.
Really, it's going to be unfortunate that you're going to have people out of the woodwork just come in just to talk smack or whatever, just because of his story.
Yeah.
You know, that's just
like I said, that's just how it is.
That's just how
I'm going to be honest. And it's like I said, I read that comment because right now, like I try not like, I mean, on the internet right now, like especially Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not even that big yet. Like I'm just building it. But I mean, people hit me up a lot on there, bro, like DMs and just messages. And I try my hardest to get back to people. But like on certain comments, like I just have a habit of just liking it. I won't reply to it. Right.
No,
go ahead.
Because with business, like I'll get like random texts, random DMs. I just tell people like just email me because with DMs like or even like text messages, you kind of lose track of trying to get a hold of you. With emails, like strictly business.
Yeah,
I'm sure you might have one by now, but if you have like your podcast email, everything that's whoever's emailing you is someone you contacted for an interview or to be on here or someone that's interested because like you know it's just a lot of because you're not always on Instagram like who's
no you're right
and then you like someone like a bigger name or someone of interest like oh shoot they contacted me 2 weeks ago and I didn't even like realize hopefully I didn't lose that but you know maybe just have like,
that's true and I think
an email like hey you're interested I'm gonna please contact me via email and we'll get it going or you can contact them because a lot of times people have their email on.
I have mine right now.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, but hey, you know, it's just because like there'll be time like, oh shoot, I forgot to contact this customer. Well, I have like 30 people texting me, you know, like, all these group chats, you know how that
yes.
It's like, and you don't want to forget about anyone like, oh man, my bad. I didn't forget about you, but you know, but yeah.
I appreciate the advice. Cause like I said, obviously you've gone through it, you know, you're going on 8 years and I feel like hopefully down the road when we're talking about our 8-year anniversary or you know, whatever, 10, you know, however, 5-year, right. I want to make sure that people know where it started, bro. Like it started in my little room and you know, it's a dream and it kind of just turned into what it's turning into, you know,
and you don't know how far I don't know how far it'll go. It'll get you, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, I know that with obviously, I don't want to call it fame, but with the spotlight comes, you know, criticism.
Always doesn't matter. Yeah.
And I'm going to be real. Like, I don't want to sit here and act like I can't say like, cause I don't want to say, like, people don't bug me. They don't. I mean, in reality, I try to think of it like opinions don't matter to me because in reality, like, where were they when I needed the help? Exactly. You know, and I started this thing, and like I told you right now, it's just a dream that's turning into something I can feel and not quite there. We might have possibly landed our first sponsor. So it's like, as we kind of get that, appreciate that, bro. And it's kind of timing is kind of getting perfect because I was already kind of like, I'm gonna go back to work because and well, at the time when everyone was like, well, why would you even quit your job? Well, one, when you're a manager, you know, and this is why I said the beauty of the Lord, the way he's doing it for me is when you're a manager, bro, like you have to focus on your team. You know, you have to give all your energy to your shop, right? And my phone was going off so much because we were having, you know, stuff going on with all these promotions and, you know, podcasts and how we're going to do this and that. So I was always on my phone. So I was always like, kind of said, one foot in, one foot out, bro. And I was like, no, I can't do this. And like I said, about the purpose. Yeah. Like with the sheriff department, obviously getting in trouble, losing, you know, getting demoted. Obviously I didn't want to go to work no more. You know, the passion was kind of gone, kind of like, you know, with you with the school. With good guys, it was kind of already happening and nothing was bad. I was doing really well. Like I left number 1 in my district. So I was kind of like, I'm doing good here and money's good here, but it's like, I don't have the purpose. You know, I know it's not there for me.
You want to have the purpose.
And so with the podcast, it's the purpose is there, but it's just right now, obviously the funds are not quite there yet. But as this first sponsor came in, like I said, it was kind of crazy because I was literally at today, bro. I told my wife, because one thing that I have bad habit of, like, and I'm pretty sure hopefully you've gotten better at it too, but like I'll just do things without even running it by her sometimes. Like I'll tell her later and it's not the best conversation, but I'm like, hey, I did this, you know? And like I told her today, I was like, if you want me to go back to work, I will, you know? And then she's like, this is where I know why we're literally like following God's plan and we're both aligning the way we're supposed to. She's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to make sure that you're happy and you trust me. And she's like, I do. So I was like, that was like relief.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, boom, I get the text message from a buddy of mine that's helping us out.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, I think we landed. And so like, he's like, I got great news. And I was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. I see it. I was like, wow. You know, and so remember back to having pillow faith.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, wow, if I just truly trust and it'll align the way it's supposed to.
And it's a process. It takes time.
Yeah, it really does.
Like it builds over time, and those first few months or even year, depending.
Yeah.
It's
not, yeah.
It's
not overnight, bro. It's not,
It's not overnight. You got to build it and just believe in the process, and you'll get good support. You get the guests.
Yes.
I mean, everyone could have said, nah,
you're right.
You know, but you know, they know you, or, you know,
and they're seeing
like
it.
you, and they say, like, I'm down. I'll go on, you know, just like, cause when you hit me up, I was like,
yeah. What did you think? Were you like,
well, I knew
were you first like, why me? Or
why me? So I was thinking, all right, well, we know each other.
Yeah.
But I'm older, so it's not like we grew up together.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't even go to high school together. That's how much older I am than you. But you know, when we were from Mendota, so we know each other. I'm like, all right. I'm like, but my girl's like, why you? What are you gonna talk about? I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking, but I really thought like, well, maybe like my class, you know, because there's got to be like I got to offer something, not, you know, offer something.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like a lot of the Mendo homies were like, get up, kid A. Thank you,
Mendo homies.
Yeah, all the Mendo homies were like, hit up, kid A, bro, hit up. They started telling me who to hit up, right? Because, you know, our era, like, you know, you guys are a little bit older.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is, like, you know, shout out to him again, Mike. He hit me up. He's like, hey, bro, if you ever need someone. And it's like, and, you know, he's a great talker.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been.
He's a great talker. Yeah.
And then so when he came on, and then kind of like I said, like when I thought of Victor Martinez, you know, he's the mayor. I went to school with him, right? Yeah. And like I told you, like at first I was like, well, who am I going to bring on? And it just started, like people started falling in place. Yeah. And now it's just kind of like it's to the point right now, bro. I'm so blessed that now I'm like putting people on the back burner. Yeah. And I'm catching up.
And that's why I told you last week when I go, dude, I promise.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I promise. Cause I felt like, and it was just literally like, oh, well, my daughter has this and that. Like tomorrow, like she's always got like my wife's got like back to school night on Thursday. So I know I can't come that. Yeah. My girl, you know, so there's always little things, and I got to come from Fresno. It's not far, but
yeah. No, it's still a good little distance, bro.
You know, so like, you know what, I go. So when you text me yesterday, I'm like, before I text you back, I go, hey, is it cool if I switch it? I asked my girl, like, is it cool if I go Tuesday and not Wednesday? So that's fine. Just because, like, you know, but if I had to do something today, like, you know, I told him I promised I'd be here next, which
that's why when I was like, I kind of got that one on you. I got a one on them because I was like, if we can't, then I go, bro, this is on me. Then we'll reschedule.
No, but I go, you know what? I go, nah, I got to come. But yeah, it's cool.
Well, we appreciate it, bro.
I'm glad that I was recommended by some Mendota people. I love my Mendota people. Everyone's, there's not like, I don't like dislike anyone from Mendota.
Yeah, same, bro.
That's like everyone was cool. You know, it's like, you know, just like,
yeah,
I don't know. Everyone was cool. You know,
yeah.
I know him, or yeah. You know, even if you don't know, like, oh yeah, that's a cool. Yeah.
And then I think with me, like obviously you've always been cool, bro. Like people, like I never heard nothing really bad. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have the best rep, you know, because I'm kind of you know, we're young, immature, and I didn't really know a lot. And I feel like now as I'm trying to not rebuild nothing, I'm just trying to tell people like, okay, like. I was young. I was immature. I didn't know. You know, now I'm kind of growing. And as I grow and as you know, if we do get bigger and this thing does blow up, bro, I want to make sure that I'm going out there and telling the Mendo, Fireball, the West Side kids, like, you can do this. Yeah. You know, you can go run a company. You can go be a podcaster. You can go be an officer. You can go be a teacher, right?
And it's just passion, hard work, the will, desire. I mean, however you want to put it.
Yeah. Well, I had Paul Valenzuela on this morning, you know, shout out to him. 45 years coaching.
It's a long time.
He's talking about all the people he's come across. And we talked a little bit about, and I don't talk anything bad about Fireball, you know, but like I noticed, I coached here, bro. Yeah. I noticed the way some of the kids are, like, it's just a little more, you know, softer. Yeah. Mendota, bro, they'll come at you.
Tough kid.
They'll hammer you, you know, and the kids out there are just a little different. And I say a little different.
Tougher.
They're just built a little different, right? And he was even saying it like, well, obviously the coaches that are out there, you know, they still kind of bring that tough old school mentality. You know, I told him like what I learned, what I'm learning about like these new era of children, the kids coming up, like they're calling their coaches by their first name. Right. And I go,
you didn't do that.
You do that to a coach in Mendota? Like you do that to Coach Clark? Call him Alan. Call Gammis Joe.
It was always coach.
Yeah, it's always coach.
Even my teachers, it's always still like when you see them, like it's Mr. Or it's like, it's never like
that's true.
the first name.
Yes.
Even though like even when I was working on the school board, I was like, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, Mrs. Like, you know, it's never first. It's just, it's respect, you know, just like, that's
how you grew up.
That's how you grew up. You know? You don't like, imagine calling Clark, hey, what's up, Alan? It's like, hey, it's always coach.
To this day, bro, I still call him coach. Because it's like,
he was your coach. Yeah. And just, you know, it's a sign of respect, you know.
Well, I'll give his into Bautista. Like I've always called him Bautista, you know, or Coach Bautista, right? And so I'll still call him Coach.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't call him by his first name.
Yeah.
Because that's always going to be either Bautista or Coach. Yeah. Right. Well, same thing with Ochoa. Like I'm never going to call him Joe. It's going to be Ochoa. You know.
Speaking of Mr. Ochoa, he was my 8th grade math teacher. So that's I'm gonna age both of us, but that was 30 years ago. Wow. Joe Ochoa, Mr. Ochoa.
And now look at him. He's big dog over there.
The big dog. So we go, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's always Mr. Ochoa. I think I ever called him Joe in his
to this day, bro. Same Mr. Ochoa.
Mr. Ochoa, you know. So he was, my 8th grade.
When the same thing with like Lopez, we're talking about Lopez, you know, Dr. Lopez. He was you said
he was my math teacher sophomore year and
then economics
senior year.
And then he was my economics teacher. And then so it's kind of crazy because I always called him Mr. Lopez. And now out of respect, he's Dr. Lopez, right? Yeah. And so even like I tell people like, you know, I initially thought I was going to become a teacher. You know, I'm not saying I was in the running for it, didn't get it, but there's no hard feelings, bro. Like I still want the best for that school. I still, you know, like you said, for being from Mendota, it's still different. Yeah. And now when I talked to him, you know, I just told him, I was like, I told him, sir, like whatever I can do to help you guys, I will down the road. And, you know, cause being in law enforcement, like I said, still have all the connections and I mean, we got to use them, you know, and why not give them to these Mendota kids, these Farball kids, these kids on the West Side? Like I want to see them be the next group of, you know, correctional officers or probation, parole
generation coming up.
Yeah. Well, shout out to, you know, I'll give him one shout out right. Coffee 33, like Christian Aganza. He was in law enforcement for a while, right?
Speaking of him, I did the hats. He reached out.
There you go.
He calls me, hey, Tiger, what's up? I need some hats. I have a bunch of nicknames.
Yeah.
Just depending on the group of friends, the Kid A, Tiger, Little A. Anyways, he hits me up because I need some hats for the coffee shop. So all right, cool. So just Mendota homie. Yeah. You need some hats. Starting to Coffee 33. I got you. What do you need? You know, and
as we give him a shout out, maybe we got to get him on next, you know, because he got to come on. We're working on it. You know, he's been busy, bro, because he started a whole new, you know, remember he has a career, starting a new venture. So it's like a lot, you know, and I told him the same thing in God's time, it'll happen. Right. But bro, anything else you kind of want to touch on or?
No, I'm just thankful to be on, you know, just blessed and
something that you didn't think that you're like, what am I going to say, bro? We've flowed.
Cause like I said, like other people have more, I guess, interesting, like, content to offer, you know, but you know,
this was actually pretty good content, bro.
Everyone has a different story. Yeah. And I understand that. And like I said, mad respect to all the people who come on before because, you know, some of it takes courage.
For sure.
You know, to share your story because everyone is listening. I wish you well.
Yeah. Good luck. Appreciate that, brother.
You know, you're going to grow and, you know, time will tell how
this plays out.
It plays out and, you know, and I'm happy. You know, it's a cool because I have a lot of friends, that talk about, it'd be cool to start a podcast, or we could do this, could do that. Yeah. Well, do it.
And they see it now that we see it, like hopefully that'll push them toward.
And it's hard. I mean,
a lot of things have to align, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not what you think.
And like,
it's not easy.
Even just the equipment, it costs money.
It's not.
I mean, you're not going to buy this equipment and, all right, now what?
Yeah.
What's my, what's a lot of things.
And the funny part is, like I said, I wanted to do it in my garage. I was going to do like the little mic.
Yeah.
And I was just and then my wife's like, no, like you're going to have to do it this way. You know, like I said, and I've been blessed. Like the carpet was donated, the table. I had a homie that plugged me up with, you know, he goes to the auction. So I got some stuff, right? All these things in the background, we just kind of bought. Obviously we got that picture made, but everything kind of just slowly aligned.
Yeah.
You know, but the hardest part, bro, I'll tell everyone the hardest part about podcasting is the editing process. That is not fun. Yeah. It's very, very hard.
Well, that's why there's editors
that's why there's editors
and music and movies and all this other
stuff. So, and then even being blessed to find the right people.
Yeah.
It's like I said, you know, I linked up and I'll give them a shout out. I don't even know if I want to give him a necessary shout out. He just knows who he is. He's been helping out with the podcast because he wants to be kind of really under the radar.
Okay.
But he's not a Mendota guy, but let's say he's a local guy. He's from Fireball.
Okay.
Helps out a lot. And just the things that he does, like I said, I want to he knows who he is. And when in time, I'll release who, but he's really been behind the scenes, bro, helping,
That's awesome.
Getting things lined up for us. And like the one thing I noticed that this is how he got me. So we're talking, he's like, inside the pod with Lou, it's gotta run while you're sleeping, bro. And I was like, I like that, He's like, yeah. He's like, you just gotta run it, right? So then I'm like, I can be a little pushy, because I'm the kind of guy let's get things done. Let's get things done. Let's get push, right?
It takes time though.
But it's not, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, okay, hey, we gotta.
Especially you want to release a content like
Yeah.
as perfect as you can.
So what I do is I like to get I'll get them recorded. I try to get them edited as fast as possible.
Got it.
So I'll sit in the living room, get a little notepad, start watching the podcast. Not because I want to watch myself. I just want to watch. And I stop it, take notes. Okay, boom, boom. This is a good clip.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I missed this opportunity right here with Kid A. I should have said this, or we could have veered it here, right? Yeah. And so I always tell all my guests, like, think of it as this is part 1.
Yeah.
Because part 2 could be something about how, like you said, hey man, you should have got me and Mike. We could have tag teamed it.
Yeah.
Well, Mike comes on part 2. Maybe we get you and Mike together.
My little sidekick.
You know what I'm saying?
Or I'm his sidekick. I don't know. He's taller than me.
Yeah, no, but it would be kind of cool. Yeah. And then you guys can talk about whatever, and that's what I'm saying. As he watches yours, you watch his, maybe you guys take some notes and be like, hey, Louis, this is what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like today with Paul's like, that I'm bringing on Tony and Chris.
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, well, we should all 3 come on because he's like, we could talk about the newer generation of coaching versus the older.
Yeah, there's always.
And I was like,
a sequel.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah. And so, kind of throwing that out there, there's a lot of stuff in the kind of brewing, that we got working, and I look forward to bringing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, bro, I want to thank you. This was a really good podcast. I did not expect it to how we were gonna flow.
I mean, I didn't know either. Like, man, I have 2 things to talk about. We'll see how it goes, but it worked out.
You flowed great. I'm telling you, like, it went really. There's no pauses. There's no awkward moments.
I can talk.
No, but
it was cool. Thank you.
Cool, no problem. Well, with that being said, we start every podcast with a Bible verse and we end with the same verse. So today's verse came from John 15, verse 16 and 17. You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name. This is my command. Love each other. John 15, verse 16 and 17. And with that being said, thank you to Kid A, aka Adrian, aka Notorious Grafix, for coming on and giving us your time. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Remember, this video was sponsored by the Fresno County Public Safety Association for AB 2004, known as the Scanlon Bill.